Hello. What is up? What is up? It is Friday, which means we're back with Rogue Trader. Last week I fell asleep, and then I stayed asleep, and I missed an entire stream. So we are doing what we were going to start doing then, which is Thessera. I forgot that I was on Thessera. I thought we were heading straight to Dargonis, but I think that's next. I think that's where we're heading after this. So we're gonna be doing this. Hello, Jello. Yes, I got a haircut. It's been like 2 weeks. You've abandoned me for that long. How dare you? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So,
let us walk this path to the end.
we came to Thessera. That is all I know. Please tell me this isn't another fucking The Chronicles of Fate by Gregorius Fault. We're both at fault. This is true. I will allow it. I will allow it. Chapter 1. Let these instructions enlighten all who walk in my footsteps. He that holdeth the key permits none but his most faithful to change their fates, and I, the eminent Gregorius Fault, have no right to fail him. This is my present work. This, my present work, will describe... Wait, what? There's a couple of commas missing there. That's what the issue is. It should be this, comma, my present work, comma. Okay. Anyway. Hooray for grammatical nitpicks. This, my present work, will describe how a soul becomes purified and the rituals required to prepare it for its momentous turn of fate. These being things that any servant of his who intends to break the shackles of their former life will have to undergo. Hi. What's up, Kit Kat?
Know your duty.
Chapter 2. It befits any servant of his to thank daily the emperor, him that holdeth the key for the lot given them in life. As I have thanked him with my writings for thousands of moon lives, so too do I thank him now with the fetters that are preparing my soul for its new destiny. The rules of this service are simple. Day after day, I reverently carry with me the glass fetters, not daring to break them. Some believe that merely keeping them by one's bedside is enough to perform the sacrament. This is a lie, perpetuated by the slothful and the faint of heart. Well, that's odd. How do I get up there? How do I get up there? Ah, it's an athletic. Okay. That's interesting. I click there and they run the entire opposite direction. Hooray! Wait, what did I just find? Oh. Somebody come grab this. Good that I was able to see it up here and not when I ran past it down here. That's awesome. That's actually a good chunk of stuff, too. Yep. Good goods. Chapter 3. The sacrament has been performed. I felt the cage open its gates. I felt him that holdeth the key open the lock of my body. At first, I found it hard to breathe. It was as though the inside of my body was lined with vice that was not my own. In my mind's confusion, I cannot tell what moon life it is, or which chapter of this book I am presently writing. But the greatest one is all-knowing, and every turn of fate has been chosen by him in advance. Thus, if my new fate tries to resist me, I shall bring it to heel. Being very lovey today. my. We're apparently having a lot of kitty time today, which I am fine with. I'm perfectly okay with kitty time. You know? But I do have to continue the game. I do have to continue the game. I apologize, Catan. Ow! Claws in my fucking stomach. Okay, not a fan of that, though. Nope. Gray-haired nobleman. As you approach, the nobles bow gracefully. Their sewn-on faces are wrapped tightly around their skulls, and their eyes gleam with earnest subservience. One dares to address you. Oh, celestial lord, grace. My brother and I have borne many a hardship, but we managed to acquire this magic contraption for our much cherished guest. Words. The box in front of you, presumably the Kajikor they speak of, exudes a strong odor of ritual oils. Made of thin planks, it is covered in so many purity seals that it seems to be held together by them alone. A stack of flimsy, rough paper lies atop it. There's a mica panel, with malachite buttons attached to the front. A thin slit is visible among the buttons. Oh, hi. I would appreciate it if you would remove your knives from my flesh. Thank you. Abelard sighs heavily and leans over to you. Sometimes when information reaches the more backward worlds, it undergoes strange metamorphoses in the minds of unfortunate and regrettably parochial lay people. Have mercy, Lord Captain. They probably have been trying to please you. Listen to the sounds. There's barely audible breathing coming from the box. Whoever is inside wants very much not to be noticed. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured was happening here. Glado stalks toward the box and bares his fangs while Solomon frowns grimly at the device. Really? And again, what else could you expect from this ignorant world? There's something I wish to ask this Kajikor. If I may advise the Celestial Lord, in order to receive an answer, I want you to take a piece of paper and slide it into the hole here, then touch this stone to ask the question loudly and clearly. Kajikor, answer only yes or no. Is your next answer going to be no? The miraculous device reluctantly accepts the offered paper and makes a vague moan-like sound. After a languid moment of waiting, you are presented with a sheet that reads error. Most likely means error. Kajikor, what is the punishment for liars and frauds? Oh, Kajikor, what is the distance between Earth and sky? I'm very curious about that. The sheet you offer is consumed with a speed beyond that of an ordinary autoquill. After a few moments, the sheet returns with a single notation. Lots. Congratulations. What does the future have in store for me? Glory everlasting. Hell yeah, I like that answer. What is the punishment for liars and frauds? The box holds the paper for a long time. When the sheet finally emerges from the slot, it is visibly shaking. You see the words, immolation. Please don't. Solomon folds his arms and leads toward the slot, his voice ringing with steel. Machines cannot feel fear, Kajikor. They can only meekly accept their fate. The proctor catches her gaze and shrugs. I couldn't help myself. Enough questions for now. To the box and let this poor soul out at once. Who? What poor soul? I do not. The young nobleman addressing you withers under the scathing gaze of his partner. As you command, my celestial lord, forgive us. We wish to only delight you by reproducing another worldly miracle we had read about in an ancient chronicle. You're dumb, but I don't execute the dumb. Although there are arguments for that. Get out of my sight. We did not mean to offend. We only wish to please. Ah! Armor's gate is locked fast. The horse is glad you with an odd curiosity. One of them pulls its muzzle closer and clacks its teeth, almost too greedily and hungrily for a harmless herbivore.
Let the faith
Because there's no such thing as a harmless herbivore. Oh shit! Nice. What do we got here? Bloody Sacrament, one-handed. Area attacks with this maul create a smoke cloud. All creatures that enter that area must pass a toughness, strength, and willpower. All. Okay, wait. On a failed toughness test, become blinded. On strength, become slowed. On willpower, become disturbed. That is interesting. Abelard, what is your mace? Actually, just better. It does slightly more damage than the Elite Chainsword. So the flesh is a way of asserting dominance. This is true. This is true. Blacksmith has somehow managed to forge shells and casings. These do not belong on a feudal world, but there is no doubt as to what they are. Well, that's interesting. What the hell's going on there?
by the blood of martyrs.
Oh, wait, what do we got? Plus 15 willpower. Well, okay, so I had it equipped. I haven't used it in a very long time. Hello, son. Thank you very much for the follow over on Kick. Enemies affected by relay psychic power must pass an agility resistance test or become slowed. The enemy is already slowed. It must pass an agility. Wait. Okay, so what do we have already? Plus 20, whenever it relays psychic power, it gains 16 temporary wounds. I never actually use the relayed psychic powers on enemies. Because the vast majority of the time, if I want to do AoE with my psychic powers, I just use Chain Lightning. So I think that this is... I think it's okay to just put this to cargo. I should probably do that with a bunch of my, Let's open the gate.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Judging by his attire, the man was of high social standing. Someone has carefully and skillfully peeled the skin off of his face. Yeah, this is why I told them to stop doing that. That's a fucking psychotic way to do things. Wait, what? Can I get there? Wait, how did I miss this? Wait. Yeah, I fucking knew it.
he ordained.
We got there. All right. So that's the eagle, which I don't care about. Ebonite sword. Targets hit with this sword suffer a number of static charge stacks equal to damage dealt by the attack. Creature of those stacks is killed. All creatures adjacent to it, except the wielder, suffer shock damage equal to the number of static charge. Huh. Wait, Evelard, did I just get you another upgrade? 14 to 17. Oh shit, that's like a big deal. Chain weapons deal 25 critical damage. I think we do. I think we have ourselves a new weapon. So we just got. Oh wait, that's a two-handed weapon. Oh shit. Never mind. Never mind, because we need to have his shield up. I did not realize. I was not paying attention. It's a good thing I noticed that before I got into combat. 'Cause that's kind of Abelard's whole shtick, is he is the guy that tanks all the hits.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
More stiffs. Tiny lights are hopping around the gilded plate. Lady squashes the insects with a small golden hammer, only for more of them to drop from her coiffed hair and into her food. Give him shield mastery so he can have the shield only on one set. Just use the second hand weapon during his own turn. I could. And that is a feat that I'm debating on giving him, for sure. About number 4, it doesn't know commands, just does whatever it was, so they locked it up to keep it out of trouble, your celestial highness. Salivating profusely, the Laceraxes watched the food disappear into people's throat. Oh my god, I hate that this thing is still up here. Okay. Judging by their protruding ribs, the beasts have not been properly fed in some time. Oh, that might explain why this one's not doing what you tell it to, you dumbass. Alright, what do we got? 10 weapon skill, deals 100% more damage. 150% more damage. Whenever it's protected, ally dodges or parries an attack, the Cyber Massive gains 10 temporary wounds. 12% more damage for 1 round, does not stack. Protect can be used multiple times per turn, but each sequel use it around increases its cost by 1 AP. I think we could just leave that. I think we can actually equip that. I think that one's fine. Oh, you think that's fine? Alright, what do we got? Chapter 406. I am impure, and my body is impure. Vital fluids, not my own, are stirring within me, as though wood-boring beetles were digging their filthy tunnels through my frame. I must destroy this vice. I must squeeze it out. It is customary to replace an old vessel, and I have replaced my rotten cage with chambers of gold. Yet, I still feel filthy, for the contents are spoilt, and not merely the shell. Then what can be done to achieve redemption? My face is burning. A borrowed face, a weak face. I must take off the fetters of my skin, and cleanse its inner side of vice. Take it away, O Emperor. Take it away and give me a new cage. So this is basically the beginning of the face transfers, right? Judging by the deep scratches, there used to be a makeshift bridge here. If you could put something in its place, you could cross to the next roof. No doubt that this piece of iron is sturdy enough, but it is woefully short for a bridge. Rusted sheet of iron could easily reach the other side, but is unlikely to hold the person's weight. That's not fucking useful. Who's Maeve? Maeve teleports. Despite the gaps, metal lattice looks both sturdy and long enough. You did it. What did we accomplish? I have no idea, but we did it. You're such a bitch. Medium armor. Whenever the wearer starts their turn with no enemies in the 3-cell radius, they gain +4 MP and do not provoke attacks of opportunity this turn. Plus 10% armor if the wearer starts their turn with at least one enemy within a 3-cell radius. The problem is nobody really uses medium armor. Like, that's something that I've noticed in this game. Like, the medium armor use seems fairly limited. Especially this one, which actually has less armor than my light armor. Yeah, but even with them, it's like I was gonna use heavy. Like that's why I say that medium is just like it feels like something that doesn't actually have a niche. Because I'm just gonna use heavy armor. Unless you say soldiers have like a feat or something that allows them to like mechanically ignore that. Maybe it's a strength 45 requirement. God focused characters won't invest to hit that usually. Oh, does it? I know heavy weapons have it. I didn't realize that heavy armor called second skin. Oh, okay. Then that would actually make it much better. I have what, 2 soldiers, I think. I have Abelard and I think soldier talent. Proficiency in heavy armor requires. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was looking on the item and I was like, I'm not seeing anything that says that I need to have 45 strength. But if it's a prereq for the feat in general, then that makes sense. But yeah, Argenta is also a soldier, right? So she would probably be the only one that I would have medium armor on, but I just don't use her. I'll keep it. Oh, he has a wound. We're gonna make sure that he doesn't have a wound anymore. Yeah. I like how climbing down this tiny little bit is a fucking athletics check. Starts with heavy armor proficiency, even though he only has 40 strength. It's fine, don't worry about it. Look around. What do we see? Piles of corpses that are missing faces. All right, that was fancy. All right, Tavrisk, the sculptor. What do you guys say? What do you have to say for yourself? Sculptor's mechanical hands crawl over the rough stone, their many jointed metal fingers remaining in constant motion. Even now, you recognize your own features on the unfinished piece. It seems someone commissioned a statue of you the moment you set foot on the planet. The old man turns his wrinkled face to you, and you see crystals where his eyes should be. Is my celestial lord here to gaze upon his destiny? Alas, my creation is not yet complete. Your hand augmatics are most impressive. Such implants are impossible to come by on a feudal world. Where are you from? Lord Roldo had my limbs replaced before he took me from my home planet. It was so long ago, I've since forgotten what my land is like to the touch. It was so long ago, I have since forgotten what my land is like to the touch. Sculptor's mechanical arms are pierced by sticky tubes, and the elbow joints have all but worn down. Must have been a decade since these implants were last serviced. Such neglect often poses a serious threat to the person's life, and yet the old man's skin looks relatively healthy at the spots where flesh and metal meet. The man appears to belong to a rare variety of psychers, biomancers capable of recovering even from otherwise deadly wounds and diseases. Oh. So he's a biomancer, okay. Interesting. We're gonna look at the sculpture. What does my destiny got to do with it? When I sculpt your celestial highness, I see people's destinies in the forms I create. The visions that come to me shape not only the stone, but the person's fate as well. Your image was indistinct when it appeared before me, and my work is not yet done. What do you wish to behold? Be wary when toying with destiny. What gives a boon now will come back to collect later, so may the opposite be true. Harvest sweet fruits in the future, one must first drink one's fill of bitter things. Watch our words. All that I am accomplishing in the present. Your destiny suit will soon be complete, my lord. I will have it delivered to your celestial vessel. Who are you? A humble creator, the governor's first sculptor, Tavrisk, who has the honor of shaping the destinies of others, but not his own. Tavrisk's sculptor turns his head to you, but you see no pupils in his list. Yeah, we already talked about that. Are you Psyker? My lord governor calls me a foreteller and creator, others a wicked sorcerer, but there is no cause for concern. My abilities are sanctioned, and I am pure before the emperor's celestial eye. He was at the back of his head to prove the truth of his words. What about this material? It's in the Certium. Get a different buff for the rest of the planet. I figured. So I got a fellowship buff. I wonder what the other one is. Maybe like a wisdom. Or like a dex buff or something. I don't know. Fascinating stone born from the bowels of this planet. Like any other kind, it bends and melts beneath the sculptor's tools. But for the sculpture to come to life in earnest, they must put their very soul into it. One of his hands emerges from behind the statue and gently touches its head, seemingly of its own volition. The soul, however, obtains calluses the more the sculptor works, and mine has long since become covered in scabs. Captain, all that about his soul wasn't a metaphor, you know. Someone channels his own mind through the stone and then sees what comes of it. You should be careful around the sorcerer. I don't know how my whiskers have taken a fancy to him. Capture the governor's destiny in sculpture too. I have made thousands of statues of Roldo, but the Sarah stone flesh can never seem to sate his great ambitions, of course. Bye. Another medium armor. Where blocks an attack, all adjacent creatures must have the toughness plus suffer +1 of perplex, plus 10% armor against ranged attacks. Eh. Let's get his lock fast. Fix the lift. Hooray. So glad we were able to fix the lift for these people. I'm so glad that I'm able to just, you know, do the work of all these people for them. Had a gate that was stuck that I had to break open. Had an elevator that was broken that I had to fix. Oh yeah, we already checked that. It does not escape your notice that a few leftovers from the plates disappear into the servant's filthy apron. Tables are overflowing with rare and peculiar food. There's enough of it to easily feed dozens of hungry mouths, but the servants are unlikely to get even a morsel of this feast. Except for the one who's stealing. You'll get the one that you want slightly earlier? Yeah. God damn it. Why is there a giant Iron Maiden? Tadua the Scorched. You see a man with a cruel grimace on his face and hands disfigured with burn marks. Behind him stands a ghastly-looking mechanism adorned with a polished skull and gigantic proportions. The eye sockets, their edges melted, gaze darkly at the crowd. With the promise of inevitable punishment, the man, clearly the executioner, bows his head. The very messengers of the sky have come to decide our fate. We are honored, your celestial highness. Who are you? I'm Tadua the Scorched, a slaughterman of the 5th generation, and a humble disciple of the Iron Saint you see before you, your celestial highness. No. You're an executioner, not a slaughterman. And it is an Iron Maiden, not an Iron Saint. Thank you very much. Master Tadua knows no mercy, and his hand is unfailingly firm in the sacred cause of administering justice. Maeve is careful to keep her posture straight, but her frightened gaze is deliberately averted from both the executioner and the mechanism behind him. What is that structure? The instrument of punishment is a personification of the great Thesmorpheus. Thesmophorius? Thesmophorius. The martyred, who accomplished the legendary feat of slaying 300 heretics. As is glorious tradition, all mutants who affront the Emperor's gaze and stain the face of Thessera must enter the Saint's iron embrace. Whenever justice is served, hundreds flocked to the Phasmophorius, eager to witness it, the magnificent spectacle. You have just confessed that your semblance of justice serves not as a demonstration of lawful authority and deterrence to your subjects, but as entertainment. Someone utters the last word with disgust, as if there could be no fouler profanity. Who's inside? Another heretic who violated the holy laws of Thessera, and since his body is already turning to ash, such will be the fate of his name as well, to be scattered to the winds, that it may never again defile the lips of any who live on our sacred world. Never again defile the lips. Maeve looks ready to faint. She seems both terrified and nauseated by this sacred rite that has drawn so many onlookers. The law of the Imperium punishes those who deserve it. Was that the last of the accused for the day? That was but one of the first bodies set to stoke the Thesmophorius. It's going to get a lot busier now. As if to confirm the man's words, the fire-breathing saint expels a puff of acrid smoke. While the guilty are being reduced to ashes, let us meet the next participants in our performance. Why y'all walking like that? Two people, or something resembling people, are pushed onto the stage. They are mutants, hideous parodies of humanity forever tainted by the imperfections of the flesh. One of them is dressed in stained yet expensive clothes. The other wears tattered uniform of the local guards. Your celestial highness, behold, two loathsome heretics who blemish the very face of the Sarah with their existence. Tadua chuckles, but his sneer is completely devoid of mirth. The degree of their guilt may vary, but they both deserve to enter the blazing palace of the Phasmophorius for the worst of their transgressions, distorting the sacred face of humanity. But since fate has graced us with such lofty visitors, I eagerly cede the right to punish these miscreants to you, your celestial highness. Contrary to his honeyed words, the executioner's voice betrays his poorly concealed displeasure. What do you mean by the degrees of their guilt may vary? One of them, despite being one of the highest lords of Thessera, spat on our world's customs by refusing to alter his destiny. The other did change his fate, even though he was just a lowborn wallowing in the mud. What the name? Lex's name? Did I just hear? Someone raises his voice slightly, indicating that the usually impassive arbitrator is profoundly indignant. I normally have no trouble passing judgment, but in this case, I don't even know where to start. Opulently dressed Cretan scribe, what did you do? A rotten stain upon the noble families. He was hiding in his manner to conceal his deformities, but had trouble keeping his mouth shut. He spread corruption among the minds of courtiers, cast aspersions on the traditions of the world, was insolent, swore profanely. Luckily, he has no heirs, and today this accursed bloodline shall be put to rest once and for all. Richly guard mutant moans something. You notice stitches on his disfigured face. The zealous servants were evidently in a hurry to silence the condemned man early, and sewed his twisted mouth shut. Yeah, take out the stitches. Ian, please you, Tadua carries out the order, but his work is far from gentle. The condemned man groans and chokes in pain as the executioner pulls the threads from his flesh. Thank you. His mouth oozing blood, the mutant is unlikely to say much more. What about the guy in the guard? Uniform. A thief, a brigand, and a murderer. There's no way to list all the crimes lying at this freak's conscience. However, his willingness to change his destiny against all odds merits this mutant at least some honor. Despite his feeble-mindedness and simplicity, he had enough sense to obscure his countenance with hoods and helmets until he made his way from beggar to guard. It was not long before his excessive passion for fighting and stabbing gave him away. Mutant uttered a foul curse under his breath, then immediately gives you a frightened look and falls silent. The mere sight of the celestial lord seems to instill a reverent awe in the common denizens of Thessera. He praised the lowborn mutant despite the vicious acts he has committed. They are both mutants, and have thereby violated his law. Yet, when one finds a spark of nobility in an abject commoner, one cannot help but feel a grain of respect for them. This heretic may be of low birth, but he does not flout the values of Thessera the way the nobleman does, and thus honors our traditions and his will. Born into the rabble, he applied all of his abilities and skills, defied the restraints placed upon him, and crushed those who stood in his path, all in order to forge a new destiny for himself. Forge a new destiny? Someone repeats slowly with an undertone of utter disbelief at what he is hearing. Even you, a degenerate, to know that a man is bound to serve the God Emperor's plan for birth, that any attempt to change that is a violation of his will. Even on a planet forgotten by all, humanity continues to seek freedom and honor the Emperor in their own way. Humans need to believe in something in order to live, and a better destiny. Who among us has never dreamt of that? See you, Maeve. Which of these two deserves to die? Maeve's gaze darts fearfully around while visibly avoiding the doomed mutants on the platform. I am of too low birth to take on the burden of being a judge, my celestial lord. I am ready to announce my decision. The word of its distinguished guest is law. We are all trembling with anticipation. I'm not actually ready to render judgment. Okay, so the commoner killed people. He's a murderer, a thief. So he's going. So it's either 2 or 3. The other guy just didn't like the traditions of this planet, which I don't either. So I think that it's fine for him to leave. So I think we're going to kill the commoner and we're going to let the nobleman free. The furnace, all those scandalous misdeeds. Kit, thank you for the follow over on Kick. Appreciate you. Welcome in, welcome in. All those scandalous misdeeds and one heretic will make oh such lovely sparks. Behold the starfall. The full slimy joke is followed by laughter as the crowd anticipates the coming spectacle. Tanjiro gives you a dark look as if reluctantly, and through gritted teeth he forces out the words, His Celestial Highness has spoken. May the flames of St. Phosphorus purify you, heretic. Glares at the surviving mutant with loathing. Get out! Praise His Celestial Highness for granting you a life you do not deserve. Crowd around you starts jeering and the mutant scurries away in haste. Kind of wild that they're just okay with being burned alive. And now my favorite word. Next! Alright, what do we got? This guy doesn't even look like a mute. Pale, bony creature, barely able to move its legs, enters the stage. In place of a mask, it turns a horrific medley of features toward the world. Oh, wait, is that its face? I thought that was a mask. This ugliness, however, is nothing like that of the previous convicts. The thin, squeamishly twisted mouth is fused to the cheekbones. Malicious eyes peer into the crowd from under hideous folds of skin. The face of this heretic appears to have melted and congealed. What are they guilty of? The execution does not answer right away, but makes you wait for a moment. His crime is more grievous than any the scaffold has ever seen. He was granted a new destiny, but chose to defy it. He turned away the greatest gift that can be offered to the loyal sons and daughters of Thessera. What does that mean? Regiment's gaze drifts over the crowd. Slow's piercing gaze meets yours. His head twitches, his face contorting in a monstrous grimace. Shut up! Shut up before it gets in! He whispers in a sudden frenzy. I won't give up, I won't give up, I won't! Oh, no, no, no. We come here for you to stay quiet. Squeal now and squeal louder. Crowd takes up the fool's outburst and begins demanding more screams. You're not the master of your own shadow. The shadows reign over you. You are alone, but while they are many, but why? A windowless, doorless house. The master is gone, and only beasts remain. Where's that blasted poor fool? Where is he at? You glance at the crowd and suddenly see the fool prancing and flitting among the gawkers. They are trying not to be spotted by you. Shoot bluff for his insolence. God damn. Hmm. The problem is, like, So I don't know. I don't remember what all Bluff said before. I know he like interrupted us while we were talking to the governor. But I also feel like he had like valid information as well. Like he's not just a jester. I'm not gonna shoot him. Let's do this. You need to hide yourself so carefully. I'm not one to punish a born fool. Laughter bubbles up from the crowd. The audience appreciates your gracious yet mocking remark. Fool makes an angry sound and flees to the cackling of bystanders. Oh, nice. That actually is the best result. Thank you, my celestial lord. Maeve's voice is barely audible. She smiles at you in a small, sad way. What happened to his vase? The Sarian fever. You need not worry. Your celestial highness. It is not contagious. Wait, that's it? That's all I know? Wait, I don't get to ask anything else? What did he say? Shut up before it gets in. I won't give up. I'm gonna let him go. Primarily because I'm just curious if I get to talk to him afterwards. I was about to say something kind of takes a step on it on his clumsy spindly legs, and then another one. The face, pretty strong, shining. Gnawclaw points directly at you. Give it here. Give it to you now instead of the one I bear. Take mine. It's not mine. Take it. Take it. Man raises his crooked fingers to his face and sinks his nails into its sagging flesh. Shrinking with what sounds like relief, he tears off a piece of his cheek, then another, and then one more. Falling to his knees, he frantically scratches at his own eyes out, smearing blood and clear ichor across his face before collapsing dead on the platform. That's wild. A sudden rumble draws your attention, like a rockfall tumbling down a slope. The thudding of feet and mad screams overwhelm you. After a moment, you see the source of the commotion. A throng of mutants is charging straight at you. What the fuck? I mean, if you want to fucking fight, I'll fight you, but man, I let 2 out of the 3 of you go, motherfuckers.
You will fall.
Hmm. And I think that's fine. Hmm. How do I want to set up my field? What is... Okay, wait. What the hell's going on with these? First off. Oh. Okay.
I can do that with the right incentive.
Anything else? Was
Dude, that's so fucking. Dude, that new ability is so fucking overpowered. It's not even funny. Holy shit. What does this do? How did I hit that? Wait. Oh my god. I'm stupid. Never mind. I'm like way stupid. I don't know why I'm fucking tired again all of a sudden.
the other side awaits.
Uh. No way. Oh, nice. It does keep going. I don't know why combat here always like gives me issues with consciousness. Um All right.
Brings me no pleasure.
Dude, I jumped a lot in this turn. Holy shit. We're just gonna have her run back up here. Man, y'all are cowards. Let's you stand here and shield wall. Okay, so Jesus, I lost track of where I was. We've Rot Mutant, Feeble Mutant, Rot Mutant, Sullen Mutant. Sullen Mutant. Then we got a bunch of mutant corpses. I think I want to kill him.
You have been judged and found wanting.
Well, that's fucking annoying. Oh my god. I have made a mistake today, I think. And I think the mistake was I ate before I did stream. So the EPs have gotten me a little bit. What else do I... Wait, where am I? Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna do this. No, we're gonna do this. This is the only one in my line of sight. I'm just gonna skip the rest of his turn, honestly. Honestly, I'm just gonna skip the rest of the turn. Hmm.
On it.
Oh my god, this streamer is about to have two crackheads fight. Lol. Man, you're delayed even more than I am, dumbass. Oh, he died. Nice. Your Celestial Highness, apologies for my late arrival. I wasted a great deal of time in idle squabbles. Commander Virgie is strong today. It is. I don't know why. It's always these. It's always the Rogue Trader streams that hit me the hard. I think it might just be because it's like the second half of my week and I'm just like fucking tired. Just in general. Actually, let's take a minute. Let's take a minute and talk about that. Part of the reason is I was up very late today. But for good reason. I was up very late today because so I get home from work. So like I at work, you know, I have mentioned this a couple of times on stream now. I am trying to go to day shifts instead of staying on overnights. So we finally got some progress on that today. So the reason that it has been kind of stalled is because I chose the exact wrong time to try to go to days. And hello Philemon. We're doing a little bit of story time because I fell asleep 18 times in that last fight. So the reason that it's being stalled is because the person apparently there was like one person that was able to onboard people onto days, and she got removed from the system 2 weeks ago because she is herself transferring to a different store. So there was nobody that was able to onboard somebody from days. So we were just like, there's just nothing that anybody could do. As of yesterday, another person was finally able to start hiring people on days. And I was not aware of this because my boss was not aware of this until after I had already left work today, this morning. So I am actually at home. I just pulled into my driveway. I was just still in my car. I get a phone call from my boss. I'm like, that's weird. He never calls me, even when I'm on the clock, let alone when I'm at home. So I answer. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, would you be able to come back up here any time today? And talk to. Her name's Angela. Talk to Angela. She is here today and she could get this whole process started. And I was like, I could be up there in like 5 minutes. And he's like, okay, cool. So I go back up there. At this point, it's like 8 o'clock. It's like 8 o'clock. I get back up there. We go through that whole process. You gotta put out a bunch of information. It's basically like reapplying for the job. So had to do a whole bunch of paperwork, put in my information. Then they're like, okay, what we need you to do, and this needs to happen within 24 hours of when I hit this button here, is we need you to go and get a drug test done because the job that I'm going for is a driving job. So they require a drug test. I'm like, okay, I could do that. And they're like, here's this one. It's like literally across the, like, just around the corner. Like a 3-minute drive from where we're at. Just go there. And yeah, take care of that. Like, okay. So I go there. It's like a, fuck, what do you call those things? Urgent care. It's like an urgent care. So I go in there. And because it's an urgent care, nothing goes quickly. Which is slightly counterintuitive with the name. Get those done in a few minutes. Rough, when you have to adjust your schedule to get there? Yeah. So I get there, and at this point it's like 8:15. It's like between 8:15 and 8:30 is when I get there. And I go in and they're like, hey, because you know it's a drug test, it's a piss test, right? So it's like, fuck, I don't have to go to the bathroom. Wish I had known that I was gonna take a piss test today. I would have not gone to the bathroom, you know, as I was leaving work. So I'm sitting there, I'm fucking drinking water, trying to, you know, prep for the test. So I'm studying for the test. And eventually I'm like, okay, we can finally do this. Go back there, do the thing. And that takes, you know, like another 5 minutes. Finally get home and it's like already past 9 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything. I've just gotten home. Like, okay, I need to eat something. I need to do this stuff. Like, by the time I eat dinner, sit down, relax, and actually, like, calm down enough that I could maybe go to bed, it's like 11:30. So, like, way late. And then, because I drank a ton of water, I wake up like 5 times having to take a piss throughout the day. So I did not sleep all today. At all. At all, I did not sleep well today. So that's probably why the coma hit so hard there. I'm hoping that this story, because like a lot of times when I do these stories, it does help me wake up a bit because I'm focusing on something specific. So I'm hoping that that will help me stay awake for the rest of the stream. But we will see. We will see. Your Celestial Highness, apologies for my late arrival. I wasted a great deal of time in idle squabbles with that oaf of a treasurer as he was looking for the shipment chronicle. Might have had mild water poisoning. I didn't drink that much water. It was like 2 cups, 3 cups. Like maybe 30 to 40 ounces of water. It wasn't like a massive amount. Because you can only drink so much. They actually tell you you can only drink 3 cups. And I didn't do the full 3 cups. So, yeah, it was like 2.5 cups. Something like that of water. It's just my body very strongly overreacts to fluids sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Hey, let me actually see something. Oh, interesting. Wait. Odd. Okay, sorry, I was just checking something real quick. Let me check one more thing real quick. Okay. Interesting. Anyway. Sorry, doing a little bit of technical stuff on the kick side of things. Other treasure as he was looking for the shipment chronicle. I only heard about the attack after it had begun. The elevator might as well not have been moving at all. It was so slow. Treasure of the elevator. Who are you going to blame next, Governor? Are you the ruler of this world or a casual onlooker? You'll take measures immediately and restore order, or I will conclude that you are sabotaging the road trader's visit, either by intent or simply due to your own ineptness. I thought the culprit, of course, the culprits will face action in both faces. My celestial lord, survey the square. An oppressive silence hangs over the previously bustling plaza. The people are taking in the carnage, clearly avoiding looking at you, but still catching your every word. You notice Maeve standing nearby, gazing around her with horror in her eyes. Find those responsible and bring them to me. The condemned mutants broke loose and attacked the townsfolk. It has been a long, long time since anything like that has happened. Your celestial highness, they must have sniffed out that today is a special day. The commander is responsible for guarding them. He got careless. I am Lucra, commander of the Fortress. I contest that the ungodly mutants were restrained popularly. The Phasmophorius, the smoke whipped the brutes into a frenzy. So it is either the commander or the executioner, is it, that I shall make now my celestial lord, I swear by life that my knights and I did everything we could to keep you safe. Who could have foreseen that the Phasmophorius, after gorging itself on miscreants, would start driving the mutants mad with its smoke? Lies! The Phasmophorius does not taunt heretics, it fills them with terror. To shift the blame for your own failure onto a sacred weapon of justice is a heinous crime in and of itself. I hate how there's no, like, hey, let's actually, like, figure out what's happened. It's just, like, his word versus his word. Like, why would you execute somebody based on he said, she said? What the fuck? Why are these my only options? Can I, like, look around? I'll order no executions. I'm not doing that. The commander and the executioner stop their bickering and turn their eyes to you in astonishment. They quickly recover, however, and offer you their deepest bows, maintaining a solemn silence. Hello. Two-handed, of course. There's attacks with the sword. Ignore the target's armor. Most warriors prefer swords. Holy shit, that's actually really good. You are our savior today, your celestial highness, and in gratitude, please accept this personalized sword from my treasury. Fabringer once decided the outcome of one of our feuds. It killed a rebel leader, and peace reigned on the planet ever since. Apparently not. Apparently not, because we just had, you know, a small-time uprising. Thank you. Governor bows at your feet. Look at Maeve. After putting herself in order, Maeve catches your eye and looks away shyly. Her lips bear a poorly concealed smile of relief. Not in the least. Oh, sorry. It appears the celebration is over. Not in the least. I'll not let some beast ruin everything we have worked so hard to prepare. I suggest we dist ourselves from this place. And return to our corner of revelry and peace. By your leave, I'll be waiting for you at the head table. God, Emperor, give me strength. Swallowing noisily, the governor hurriedly departs the scene of slaughter. It amazes me that that idiot just underpaid the tithe and did not somehow lose the whole planet as well. Solomon pauses, pensively watching the governor leave. Fine, a feast it is. I'm sick of the stench of burnt meat. Let's try a change of scenery. Let's go and hang out around a different kind of burnt meat. Hooray! Face pale, Maeve raised a hand. My celestial lord, it is only a few steps away. The noble lords are already lifting their glasses in their savior's honor, awaiting your arrival. Shall we proceed? Well, first, I must loot. Looting must be had. This is an integral part of the beautiful sword. We're going to add all of these. Hearted shield. +1 and +8. Parry allows the wielder to block. First attack of a shielded attack and a turn. Okay, so wait. Wait, how did she get a fresh injury? Okay, so it's a slightly lower shield block chance. But it does give parry chance. Stacks off of what? Wisdom. No, weapon skill. I almost said wisdom. It would help if this was open. This is actually not a terrible shield. But Stronghold is just so good. Yeah, Stronghold is just way too damn good. I feel like it's going to be a very long time before I find something that's better than Stronghold.
My pleasure.
Hello, speaking of shields. Whether the wielder blocks an attack or become blinded, nah. That is not useful for me. Oh my god, it's Gara. I didn't know they had Gara in Warhammer. Veritable mountain of leftovers under the table. The guests have been tossing scraps onto the floor without thought. No lies. Oh yeah, we saw that. Overflowing with rare and peculiar food. Oh yeah, we already talked about. Okay, yeah. So this is. We were already here. Alright. The governor's hand reaches for the Yamasek, but flinches under your gaze and abruptly changes trajectory toward the appetizers. Today is a very nervous day, Your Celestial Highness. And when I feel nervous, I eat and drink and eat again. It's just the way I am. But Emperor have mercy, the food today is to die for. Would you like to have some? Strange choice of words. I recommend you try the fried Alcedont, whose horns were still goring my hunters just the other day. And here we have some five-tailed shrimperiuses in stewed black eye sauce. These fellows need to be eaten quickly before they scurry off the plate. As for the side dishes, you simply must have a taste of the crispy blade shells seasoned with a blue glut. This spice scorches your tongue, but follow it with some amasek and it'll feel like waters of life itself. The only dish I want is the warp damn tithe. Won't serve to me this instant. Well, we're going to do the agility one. Agility and perception in the next combat. One-time bonus that disappears after the combat ends. Definitely wielding a set of forks and knives, you cut off the Shrimperius' escape routes. At last, all 5 of its tails are pinned to the table with golden prongs, and the 6th fork delivers the final blow, allowing you to send the exquisite meal into your mouth. Only 3 people have managed to conquer the Shrimperius tonight, and all of them are inferior to you in the sophistication and speed of their fork craft. Suddenly, it's fucking 15. This was 70% before. Huh. Should I try this? Damn. As the blue blood stings your tongue, you lose all will to continue eating this dish. You immediately wash it down with chilled amasec, allowing the blend of fire and ice to permeate your entire being. Character's intelligent willpower. The next combat is a one-time penalty. Damn. Seed in your eyes, you felt it too. The newfound wings at your back. The fresh sea breeze. Bigger one after the second. Yeah, I was curious. I wanted to see what the hell happened with if I picked a second one. For a purpose in the dark alley of consciousness, isn't it divine? Inspired by your example, the governor places and an achievement for managing to eat them all. Oh, really? Well, I literally wouldn't have been able to. Well, I guess if I started with the lowest. Although the athletics one had a bigger penalty than the other one did after the first one. Because this one went from 70% to 15%. So I guess what I should have done is probably like the athletics. Then still the carouse one. And then after that, do the agility one, I guess. Verily, your celestial highness. He reaches his ring-studded hand for the goblet, but stops at the sound of May's voice. My lord, remember that the physician told you temperance is the best cure for your ailments. I fear that you have disobeyed his wishes again today. And now I am paying for it with a compromised sense of balance and a regrettable inability to admire the disguised imposters. The hunt is already in full swing. What the fuck? Wait, what? With a compromised sense of balance. Then make sure your party can do them all. Nice. Paying for it with a compromised sense of balance, and a regrettable inability to admire the disguised imposters. No, it is already in full swing. Okay, so it's literally just he's drunk. Got it. Okay. Rogue Trader, once you've had your fill of the governor, let me ask him a few questions. What's this hunt? Be a darling and tell your guests about our amusements. I'm a little exhausted. So you're a little drunk. Of course, my lord. The imposter hunt takes place every moon life. Shortly before the event, the servants are thoroughly cleansed of dirt and foulness, combed, dressed in expensive clothing and masks, and invited into the courtyard with the rest of the guests. The nobles hide their faces as well, and then they try to guess who the imposters are. Telling one from the other is quite a challenge sometimes. That's the best part. I highly recommend you try it, your celestial highness. It makes for a very interesting change of pace. And on this occasion, the privilege of branding, if you will, falls entirely to you, our honored celestial guests. Suppose I found all the imposters. What next? This is the data brand, one of our off-world treasures. We handle it with the greatest care, and yet all of Thessera's jewels and miracles cannot compare to the resplendence of your glory, my celestial lord. When you find an imposter, you need only mark them with this wondrous brand. At the end of the hunt, we hold a great feast. If you guess at least one of the imposters, you also win a fine prize. If you guess all four, there'll be an even more special reward. I remember at one of the hunts, a servant played the role of a baron so well that all the lords unanimously granted him favor and let him keep the title and privileges of the nobility. Such a thing rarely happens, but who knows what the evening can bring. For tonight, it is you who will determine the worthy, my celestial lord. Did you just admit that there is masquerading rabble among the Thessarian nobles, illiterate, with no idea how to collect tithes or by the throne? That actually explains so much. Go ahead, Governor. Commence your charade. Sooner we start, the sooner we finish. It shall be done, Master Adjudicator. How's one find an imposter? By the way they talk, by their lack of restraint, the unfamiliar delicacies overwhelm them so much that they lose control. Imposters are often scared of the responsibility that's fallen on their weak shoulders. They try to stay close to the real nobles and imitate their rarefied manners. During the hunt, it is most worthwhile to pay attention to separate groups where conversations had already started. A frightened imposter will probably try to hide behind other people's backs. That's all I know, Celestial Lord. I will participate in the hunt. Marvelous. As soon as you're done with your search, I will be... Perhaps you should stay here, my lord. I feel you may be right, Maeve. I'll be waiting here, surrounded by savory dishes and plentiful amasec. Have a fruitful hunt, your celestial highness. Maeve, bring me a cup of amasec and make sure it's filled to the brim. Interesting. Will be done, my lord judicator. We'll talk to you about... We'll talk to you without the observer they have attached to us over here. Did you get the sense that what is happening raises questions that lack coherent answers? I'm uneasy as well. Gardner barely managed to say to Staddle, which is odd for a local nobleman. Remember the last mute for the public execution? Something was off about him, and it wasn't just his physical deformity. Was this tripe about alter your destiny? Fault. Lunacy is bordering on heresy. Yeah, what is this tripe about alter your destiny? The God Emperor alone knows how many different cults of him there are. No two planets worship him in quite the same way, but only a heretic would wax poetic about altering a fate that was ordained by the Emperor once and for all. Fault. Not bordering. They are heresy writ large. That is not what troubles me. What troubles me is that the madman succeeded in publishing them. Barely managed to stay in his saddle, which is odd for a local nobleman. Not too odd considering Rollo's ravenous fondness for food and amasec, but astute observation nonetheless. The last Butin was weird. Yes, mutation is a corruption that seldom leaves a person with a sound mind, but what the madman spouted on the scaffold and what he had done to himself was beyond the pale. Mutant attack during a public execution. Unlikely to have been planned, it looked too messy, shall we say. On the other hand, perhaps that's the best this backwater planet can do when it comes to plotting and scheming. And we're stalling for the tithe. I did not mean to click that shit. I have some girl changed the chat within 2 seconds. That happens. I have a theory, but I'd like to hear yours first, lest my opinions influence your reasoning. Get a 2-second conversation with a whammon? Humble brag. Okay, what else have we seen that's weird? There was the forge, right? That was making shell casings and shit. I'm going to say it's a forge world. Certainly a bold theory, but I'll be wary of such far-reaching speculations. Damn. Not about the tithe. This is merely a pretext to keep us here long enough, but what for? We should play along for now. Let them think we take the bait. While we wait for an opportunity to seize control of the situation. For what? For that, we need to agree on a signal to launch a coordinated attack. The Emperor knows. Understood. After 4 weeks of Jesus Christ. Your Amasek, my lord, I haven't spilled a drop. Except for the fact that she's chatting up other dudes while she has a boyfriend for a month. Without a word, the arbitrator hurls a drink on the pavement. The splash of Amasek is like a scarlet wound upon the stone that has been polished by 1,000 souls. Well, that's just rude.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Dear mom, and it wasn't the 4th day that she told me she wasn't divorced yet. Having a boyfriend is probably something you want to lead with. Yeah. I just noticed that these are all servitors. What the fuck? Oh, this is somebody to talk to. Dark maroon Amasek is pouring out of the ridiculously gaudy fountain. An eager cupbearer hands you a goblet filled to the brim. Have a taste, if you please, the celestial lord. This vintage has been maturing ever since we laid the cornerstone of our citadel. We tapped it to celebrate you. You always have Amasek flowing from that fountain? By no means. Such frivolous excess would impede us in carrying out our burden of service to the Emperor. It is only on truly great days, such as today, that the fountain pours forth this noble beverage. Besides, even the sturdiest of servants could not work the pump for days on end. I prefer to keep my mind clear. I dare not protest. Should you change your mind, I am always at your service. Downgara, bad beast, very bad. I apologize, your celestial highness. How is your imposter hunt going? I am not done yet. I understand your celestial highness, as our nobles say, measure thy torture 10 times. Outcast behead a man but once. At least 5 course changes between torture and execution of that Sarah, and with music. It's not wrong.
What torments you?
How do I tell? They all just say the same thing. Losing Ye's maze turn. Sorry, I was losing it again. My turn to you, my celestial lord. They say you are the God Emperor's anointed. Have you truly seen him? Unholy terror, many lies centuries from here. To behold him is a privilege to die to all but a few. Wish I could see him, but I'm sure his splendor is so dazzlingly bright that one glance upon his visage is enough to blind a person on the spot. Oh, pardon me. You probably would have asked me something, did you? Um. Holy shit. God damn. What do you think of the governor? Over 40K's world is a bit too dark for me, I think. Yeah, there's a... It is called a grim dark future. Is this a festival? It's a festival in my honor, but it's also very, very weird. Oh, he's a wonderful person, so considerate, generous, but of course his venerable age has taken its toll. He behaves oddly from time to time. We all have our quirks. How oddly? Well, he gave me a lovely Thesertium necklace just before you arrived. Strange is it not to bestow such a treasure on someone of the lower nobility. I also noticed that we have been conversing more of late, and it's been easier. Sometimes I think he knows me better than I know myself. The governor has never favored you like this before. Perhaps the appointment to escort the rogue trader also came as a surprise? That is so, my lord Judicator. I still wonder why the God Emperor saw fit to bestow such a tremendous honor about me. What bluff. He is the best among all the court servants. He always knew how to make the noble lords laugh, but at first, Dade's jokes were just funny pranks and puns. Those were wonderful, almost impossible times. Something happened and he changed. Yes, he seemed to retreat into himself all of a sudden, and then he started snapping back at people, saying sarcastic, scathing things. His jokes were simple before, but now, there's always a nasty bite to them, and he started exploding at every little thing and ordering me about, my own brother. Apologies for my lack of restraint. Your brother is not his usual self. Well, as a tangle web indeed. How do you find the court? I dare not complain, my celestial lord. Lesser nobles such as myself sometimes receive punishment for angering our lords. But that is good in a way. I think it makes me cleaner and brighter on the inside and helps me to better serve the God Emperor, the holder of the key to all destinies. Holder of the key of all destinies. Why? Forgive me if I've said something wrong, my lord. Preacher Antiochus said the God Emperor holds the key to all destinies in his celestial hand. He himself sits at the very top of the great tower of humankind, from where gazing out over the worlds and stars of his domain. He sees all, knows all, and a bloody tear rolls down his cheek when he reads our shameful thoughts and deeds in the annals of our lives. But those who strive, who do not let the seed of evil into their hearts, he will reward with a new destiny. Higher and better than the one before. With the turn of his key, he unlocks the dungeon of their souls. I live in hope that one day he will come to my door. How fascinating. What are you going to do to get a better destiny? I can hope, pray earnestly, try to be virtuous and diligent. If I manage to please the celestial lord, then maybe, just maybe, the emperor will take notice. Though the Thessarians honor the God Emperor, their interpretation of the creed verges on heresy. Serving him is already the reward. and only the desire to serve longer and with greater zeal is worthy of pursuit. To beg for blessings rather than trials is an insult. The undying one, such is the truth. It is plain to see that the Imperial zealots have not set foot on the Thessera these past centuries, else you'd be singing a different tune. That one must suffer, pray until vision fades, and then suffer yet again. Why did he lock people in a dungeon? In the time of darkness, the God Emperor walled up the tower of humankind against fiends and monsters to keep it safe from evil. But evil had already planted its seed in thousands upon thousands of human souls. He locked them in the dungeon of the tower, so that they might first eradicate the evil in their thoughts. All our lives we atone for our transgressions against the God Emperor, and after death we return to his judgment. That is our burden to bear, my lord. When I see you and realize that there before me stands his anointed, one blessed by his godly hand, there is no one happier than I. I'm very curious what this means. What would you like me to do, my celestial lord? I was taught how to dance. Yeah, sing for me. Maeve nods apprehensively, then closes her eyes and begins. With great care, she sings a passage from some local hymn about how the Emperor, who holds the key to all destinies, locked the heavens against invisible monsters and enemies of humanity. Her voice, though trembling with nerves, is surprisingly pleasant to listen to. What song is that? Story of humanity's deliverance for darkness. It is sung once a moon life as a reminder of the great deed of the God Emperor, who used the key to all destinies to lock the world away from wicked things. He walled himself up in the great tower to humankind, along with all the people. He could have ascended to the stars, but he chose to stay for our sake, though we are unworthy. Plus, we must remember this deed. That was delightful. Thank you. Thank you, Celestial Lord. For me, there's no greater reward than your prayer. That there is no reward greater than your praise. Dance for me. Maeve closes her eyes of the listening music only she can hear and begins to sway. Her dance is made up of simple movements, but the grace and ease with which she performs them add to their charm. When she comes to a stop before you in a final curtsy, her cheeks are flushed. I hope this humble dance was worthy in your eyes. Thank you. I'm not gonna ever teach me to dance. It's an honor to entertain the Celestial Lord. Look straight through her? So I got an achievement at the very beginning of that, saying that I have all of the evidence to unravel what's going on here. I still don't know. Here, let me actually look at this real quick. Identify 4 disguised servants and then mark them using the data brand. According to the lady in waiting Maeve, imposters are often found hiding among groups of nobles. The game will end as soon as the rogue trader tells the governor they wish to proceed to the final stage. So how... Oh. A few nobles have gathered around an older man in a fine jacket. His eyes dart back and forth between them. I come from an honored dynasty. You can't. Keeps trying to approach someone, but they all recoil from him as if he were a leper. The mob's instigator, a lady in a golden mask, exclaims furiously, "Oh, listen to the songs of this poor wretch. He thinks that the bath they gave him makes him look like a nobleman. We ask that our Lord Celestial brand this Pez." Among the hush crowd, you single out a young woman with a half mask and a gorgeous dress who is watching intently from the side. Do you truly believe this man to be a commoner in disguise? Loudest among the onlookers exchange glances. The woman's golden mask bobs as she offers a deep curtsy. Most certainly, your celestial highness. His plebeian nature is apparent to every self-respecting aristocrat. Woman is not lying, but neither is she being completely candid. The way she looks at the accused speaks of an old, inappeasable hatred, the kind one shows to one's true enemy. What exactly is going on here? Your Celestial Highness, we have exposed one of the imposters. There he is, the one in the jacket, still clinging to his facade. You ought to brand him quickly. My Celestial Lord, I'm begging you to listen to me. This man is a member of a noble family. He is being slandered. Why are you standing up for him? I'm just a commoner in a fancy dress, my lord. This man is my master. I know I'm supposed to be playing the part of a rich girl, but I've served many lords, you see, and Sir Timaeus is the only one who treats his servants with gentleness. How to protect him from these cruel people. Look closely at the man. Man is terrified. His hands are clutching an expensive cade bearing an intricate family coat of arms. What can you say in your defense? My Celestial Lord knows how ruthless court intrigues can be. My family only recently attained its lofty status, and many here are opposed. Are you aware that your servant is trying to protect you? That's Renka, my house servant. What is she protecting me, you say? She has no idea what game she's got herself mixed up on. Forgive me, my girl. Grips his cane more tightly and breathes in deeply before taking a step back. Here she is, the real imposter. The house girl Renka. She admitted it herself to the Celestial Lord. How could you schemers even think of deceiving our supreme benefactor? Why are you so intent on painting him as not a lord, not a noble? There's not a word of a lie in what we have said. This travesty of a nobleman was granted his privileges less than 100 years ago. A family of upstarts who have elevated themselves through peddlery. For any true-born noble, he is no different from a masquerading peasant. Abelard, teleporting in to talk from 3 miles away. The Sarah is more in common with Dargonius than I first thought. I'm ready to brand the imposter. Nobles around you hold their breath as they try to read the direction of your gaze. I'm kind of curious what would happen if I do this. I'm like actually really curious what would happen if I give her the data brand. Would she put it on herself or would she put it on the woman in the gold mask? I'm gonna give it to the girl. The young woman freezes and squeaks out, I obey my lord's will. I know this man well and can dispel all your doubts. You notice the old man breathes a sigh of relief when the data brand is put into her hands. This is my former house servant, Timo, dressed as a noble. He is good, but he can never fool the true nobility. Wait. Interesting. This is my former house servant, Timo, dressed as a noble. He is good, but he could never fool the true nobility. The young woman deftly marks the man, who is frozen in horror, pushes the data brand back into your hand. Vengeful sparks play in her eyes. The woman of the golden mask graces her with a patronizing nod. So she just turned on him. That's crazy. Oh, I can't interact with a stall owner? That's interesting. Hmm. Oh. Two men in clergy rooms are bickering loudly. The older one of the pair is eating with great appetite, while the younger one watches them in disgust. Your overindulgence is pure hypocrisy. True servant of the faith would have abstained. The old priest shoots his companion and glances over the plate. A true servant of the faith must keep his strength up, so they may offer the God Emperor not just words, but deeds as well. Very much leading to the old priest being a thing. And Impulsa. Celestial Lord, how fortunate is your arrival. Only you can solve this conundrum and decide which of us is the true clergyman of noble birth and which is the arrogant imposter. Look at the two. You notice a marked difference between the builds of the quarreling men. The older priest's body is gaunt, unlike that of a smooth-faced youth. Also, the younger priest has a melodious voice of a singer, while the old man's speech is clear and powerful. Alright. Ask you if you waste. The old priest gives you a reserved nod. Meanwhile, the younger one turns his entire body to face you, like a student being evaluated. What'd you say is the role of knowledge in the Imperium? There are no barriers to learning. There are no barriers to learning the word of the Emperor and to conquering all that he has given unto us. Have you read the manuscripts of our scribe, Gregorius Fault? I hear he has left his craft behind now. But race just shines on the light of true worship. Knowledge depraves the soul. This is reading letters that are not meant to be read. That does? What happens to the Emperor's servant after death? Should they serve faithfully, the Emperor will preserve their soul in his halls. This is very on Thessera to believe in sacred reincarnation. Thus the worthy may serve the Emperor for all eternity. Ugh. Who says he yearns for everlasting service? He does not hear the undying one laughing quietly at his words. It is not this man's destiny to serve him for eternity. It is to leave meekly when he whispers, "It is time." You have encountered many variations of the God Emperor's cult in your time, but never have you heard of reincarnation after death. A religious teaching such as this seems strange and exotic, even for a nondescript, half-forgotten planet like Thessera. But no, by what name are the warriors born from the blood of the Emperor's sons known? The heralds of the Celestial Master, gods among men. The young preacher's eyes are alight with awe. The Emperor's angels, they descend upon the land to smite down. They descend upon the land to smite down his enemies. I just fucking completely changed the fucking... Oh my god. I need to take a nap. I'm ready to pass my verdict. Which one of them said reincarnation? It was the old one, right? No, it was the young one. The young one is reincarnation. Yeah. Well, yes, I did skip the lectorium once or twice, it's true, but I'm still a proper noble, I swear it on my honor. Right, nobleman. In the wavering torchlight, you see a glint of steel. One of the jack-clad young men is pressing a blade against the other's ribs. Mask lies discarded at the attacker's feet. Noticing you, the trembling victim cries out, "Your Highness, save me!" Do not interfere, outsider. This man deserves to be punished along with all of Thessera's rotten elite. You see people as just things to be worn. Let him look me in the eye and find out what it's like to be cut to pieces. Realize that the weapon pressed against the victim's body is none other than a pair of expertly sharpened tailor scissors. Local folk and their strange amusements, they're not worth our time. What is going on? He's a tailor from the lower city. He's gone mad. He thinks I'm wearing the face of his brother, my valet. Admit it, you killed him and took his face so that you could wear it instead of a costume. I haven't heard from my brother in a moon life. Examine the victim's face. Noble Lord's features are stretched and distorted. The edges of the neck, forehead, and cheeks are fastened to the side. Yeah. Peering into the nobleman's face, you realize that the stretch. You see no scars and stitches. It appears that this is merely his way of improving his looks and imitating people of higher standing. Intervene. Capture's decision definitely plunged them into the attacker's knee. Sensing his tormentor's grip weakening, the victim slips free and hides behind you. Madmen bribed the guards so that they would ignore my cries. I'm sure they'll be singing a different tune when they find out the Celestial Lord had to intervene personally. Yeah, he's never gone through a facial reassignment. Alright. Do not be deceived. Look close. The scoundrel is simply hiding his stitches. He thinks he can trick an expert tailor, but it's a wasted effort. Tell me about the rotten elite. They're parasites. They tear whoever they want to pieces. These scum squeeze into a person's skin like it's a suit that's 2 sizes too small, splitting the seams in the process. Skin suits and splitting seams preposterous. Your brother was rewarded for his talents with the best assignment he could hope for. Maybe he just decided he wanted nothing to do with you anymore. Nobleman's voice cracks. He is on the verge of tears. Your Celestial Highness, if such were your will, get send servants to this dressmaker this very moment and find this man's brother alive and well. Tell me about the valet. It's very simple, Your Celestial Highness. His younger brother has a way with clothes. I noticed him when I was looking for new servants. I sent the boy to apprentice under a renowned dressmaker in the upper quarters. I thought I would make him my valet, you see, but then this fool decided that I took his brother, not because of his talent, but to use him for my rejuvenation. Why would I even need a new face? I haven't even worn out my old one yet. Um. God damn it. I cannot keep my eyes open. Holy Jesus. Okay. Okay. Victim. Yeah. I understand I'm a noble blood assigned to the governor as good as. I wanted to help a gifted commoner, and instead I landed myself in trouble for it. You'd brand me an imposter for that? You can't brand me. It's not fair. Big games all you want. My mission will not change. The scoundrel will die. That's one. All right, I'm trying to get to this. I also did not mean to do that. Oh my god. I am literally incapable of fucking doing anything right now. Where's the last guy at? Did I miss him? Oh. The young noblewoman's hair is disheveled, her bodice stained with grime, and her mask pushed clumsily on top of her head. Holding her skirt high, she is trying her hardest to fight her way through the guards blocking the door. "Just let me go, please, for throne's sake," she exclaims when the guards yet again push her aside. The woman notices you and attempts something resembling a curtsy, but stumbles and falls to her knees. "I'm done. Just can't take it anymore, your celestial lord." Uh, yes, but you do not look much like a noble lady. I am Editka, your graciousness. I am not a noble, not one bit. I just do the laundry and bleach the linens. I've never mixed in high society in my life. Forgive a fool, your graciousness. Uh... Ah! Sleep again. You're meant to pass as a noble. Get a reward. I don't want no reward. I want to get back home. Woman hangs her head and clutches her face, frills in her dress. Why are you trying to escape? I want to get away before they start putting those brands on us for the tricksters. I'm no kind of trickster, can't you see? I couldn't fool the Grox. Why are you participating in the first place? It's not like they asked me nicely, your graciousness. They grabbed me, shoved me in this dress, threw me in here. Nobody here was asked, but I don't want to be anybody's toy. I have 3 boys and a girl. We starch our lords and ladies' undergarments, and we work our fingers to the bone just to get enough scraps for the day. Gripping the frills on her fabulous dress and the coarse, white-knuckled hands, the woman looks up to you. "Please, your graciousness, by the God Emperor, just let me leave. Nobody who gets put in one of these get-ups ever comes back. If I stay, I won't see my home again. I just know it. I haven't done anything wrong." No one ever comes back? What's that supposed to mean? Just that, your graciousness. Doesn't matter if you get branded or not. Once the hunt is over, you're gone. Places like a Grox pit, there's no way back, but I want to live. I want to be useful. Please, please, just let me. Really don't look like an imposter at all. Guards, let her go. Thank you, Celestial Lord, you sweetheart. I'll never forget your kindness. God damn it. Down, Gara, bad beast. Gara? My darling pet, she's guarding the Shrimperiuses. For once in a while, she gets an allowance in the form of Alcedon bones. Today, people go missing after the imposter hunt. What do you make of this? This is just, who cares? Who cares where the rabble goes afterward? However, I can assure you that the victors are often sent into my personal service. We call it the highest favor. And today, it'll be upon you to choose whom it should be bestowed upon. I've concluded my search. I'll immediately summon a court for a final celebration of hypocrisy. Who knows, perhaps today one of the imposters will be lucky enough to earn your favor. Most radiant ladies and noble lords, I hereby declare the imposter hunt officially over. Participants of our masquerade already stand before you. Did you guess correctly? Did you expose them all? Please dot your oculars and have a good look. Not one noble was permitted to hunt the imposters this time, my lord, still knowing their penchant for such games. I do suspect they tried to make their guesses anyway, quietly among themselves. All these imposters have been found out by none other than our celestial guest, Terry Von Valancius. An unsurpassable show, your celestial highness. Bravo, bravo. Maeve, present our gift. Wait, +1 side rating, +15 persuasion, perils of the warp is triggered, and a demon is summoned. The demon attacks closest to a non-demon target. Oh, sorry. Staying united in faith and our common mission to bring about humanity's victorious future. May all 12 in the indestructible fortress of the Imperium and wish for no other life. The God Emperor is the one true path to the darkness of the mercenary of the universe. Glory to the Emperor. This one. Glory, the mass people respond, making the sign of the Aquila on their chest. That was a grand speech. Thank you. Now, good lords and lady, the time has come to make the fateful decisions. There's not but one true reward, the highest favor that any branded imposter desires. Please, your celestial highness, tell us, is there among these people one worthy of the Rogue Trader's favor? I don't know. The Square Dawns of the class. I think I'm just too tired to deal with this. Look around, looking for the pool, can't find him anywhere. Such as his celestial highness's brilliant decision, which for some may have been fateful indeed. And finally, the hour you have all been waiting for, the concluding part of our conclusion, the Great Feast. Resurrection's dinner is served.
I've been branded. He tricks me. Gotta stop. I'm the master. Maeve, help. Maeve, I'm sorry.
Imagine my shock. Alright. Well, we can't do anything about this. We just have to start the battle. God damn it. All right. All right, this is relocate. Yeah. I should have gone one more. Oh well. Oh, I do get all of them. So we get everybody except for Jai, which is fine.
Will do.
All right. What is number 4 again? Um. Boo.
Anything else?
All right, we will do this. Shift 7. I'm gonna shoot you.
Will speak loud.
All right, we're gonna hit you with this. And then what? Did I not click? No way.
I will not be deterred.
I can't believe I missed. That sucks. All right, Solomon. Wait, what? Wait, what does this do? Bleed. Armor, dodge. Okay, so wait, this does... Okay. Cabela, we're gonna have you go here. No. And then we're gonna jump here. Wait, do I want to do this?
The shadows will stop.
Okay. Holy shit, that was a lot of fucking damage. Ah! I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. I can do this. Noble Lacerax is basically the only Xenobase that you fight that isn't a Warp Abomination or Cybernetic Lab Rat. Didn't get enough hostile wildlife in this game. That's what that's one of the things that I've noticed is that there just isn't a whole lot of fucking shit. Um. I did it again. That's what I wanted to do.
At your beck and call. High momentum.
Oh shit! I thought I had to click it. I am dying, taking a nap. I plan to after this fight. I wanted to before this, but I didn't realize that talking to the governor would spawn this. So literally, I'm just trying to. Oh wait, I could save right now. This might actually be the first time that I save and quit in the middle of a fight. But I think I am going to do that because I am just like... I have had my eyes closed more than I've had them open, I think, this stream. It has been a rough one. The segment after this is pretty long, too. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to call it here. That sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we could get this fucking schedule adjustment done quickly so that hopefully I can have less of these streams where I'm falling asleep an hour in. I'm really hoping that the background check, like right now, the background check is the bottleneck. They're saying it's going to be 5 to 10 business days before that's done. I'm hoping that that's an exaggeration and that it gets done like fucking today or something. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to be back doing more of this tomorrow unless I fucking sleep through all of my alarms again. Next Tuesday, we're going to be doing more Ditto. Next Wednesday, we're going to be continuing. Oh, we're actually going to be finishing Devil May Cry 4 next Wednesday. We got 3 missions left. It's basically the final boss rush of the game. And I wanted to make sure that all of those were in the same stream. So yeah, next Wednesday we're going to be finishing Devil May Cry 4. Actually take like 30 seconds, but they probably are contracting a place that is a huge backlog. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Be really nice if they just automated it. That'd be really cool, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, Ditto next Tuesday. We're still in Silphco. Whatever. Oh, one thing that I have decided: the first week when I switch to days, I am probably going to take that week off of streaming because that's already going to be a major schedule adjustment. Right, I'm literally flipping my entire sleep schedule by 12 hours, pretty much. So, yeah. We're gonna do that. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Sorry for not actually finishing whatever this place is, Thessalonia or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. I appreciate y'all as always. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, hit the like button, hit the bell button, hit all of the buttons. They're all very much appreciated, despite the very sleepy stream today. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed whatever this was. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.